Are you being used? 16 ways to know if someone is using you. Over time, make it hard to spot when you are being used. If you believe you may be being manipulated by a friend, partner, or family members, Marcus Aurelius shows you 16 ways to look out for plus offers, tips on how to deal with being used. We all have certain expectations when it comes to our interactions with friends and romantic partners. This can include expectations about the needs we want met and in which way. But there's a difference between expecting relationships to fulfill some needs and using relationships to that end. By watching this video, you can understand who you are being used to. So don't skip this video. Watch it till the end. So here are some important points. It is very important for you to listen to them. Unfortunately, not everyone understands the difference between both concepts, which is why it's so devastating to find yourself in a relationship where you're being used for certain purposes or needs. Number 1. Diminishing comments people who habitually use others as stepping stones. For their personal benefit are experts in deploying diminutive comments as a tool of erosion. These comments erode self-esteem, confidence, and a sense of self-worth in their targets. These comments, sometimes disguised as humor or casual banter, are actually sharp hooks designed to bring down rather than uplift. They can trivialize your successes, mock your aspirations, or show disinterest and insensitivity to your struggles and challenges. This behavior is similar to subtly psychological warfare, as it typically undervalues, creating an imbalance in the relationship. It is a calculated move to ensure that you remain in a position of doubt and diminished self-esteem, making you more susceptible to manipulation and control in their eyes. Your diminished self-esteem elevates their status, consolidating their dominant position in the relationship. Moreover, such disdainful comments often reflect their own insecurities and feelings of inadequacy. By belittling others, they try to hide their own vulnerabilities and project a facade of superiority. This behavior is a clear indicator of their inability to establish healthy, supportive, and reciprocal. Number 2. Broken promises. The act of making and breaking promises can resemble a theatrical performance where words are the actors and actions are the careless script. These people have mastered the art of verbal persuasion, painting vivid pictures of commitment and support. However, their words often lack the substance of action. They create expectations with the flourish of a painter. But when it comes time to turn these painted dreams into reality, they hesitate, revealing the emptiness of their assurances. In this type of relationship, a pattern emerges when their support is needed the most. When their promise should be fulfilled, these people often disappear, leaving a void filled with disillusionment and disappointment. This absence in times of need is not just a breach of trust, but a clear indicator of their true motivations. Their promises are manipulation tools designed to extract value, trust, or support without the intention of reciprocity. Number 3. Unilateral benefit. This can manifest in various facets of a relationship, whether financial, emotional, or practical. Financially, the user may borrow money or resources with promises of repayment or reciprocity that never materialize. Emotionally, they might depend heavily on the other for support, validation, and attention, offering little or nothing in return. When roles are practically reversed, they might constantly seek favors, help, or time, but be conspicuously absent or too busy when their counterpart needs assistance. Unilateral benefit resembles a parasitic relationship in nature, where one organism benefits at the expense of the other. The user, like a parasite, gains nourishment. In this case, emotional, financial, or practical support, without contributing equally or adequately to the well-being of their host over time. This lack of reciprocity can deplete the resources of the giver, whether emotional, financial, or temporal, leaving them drained and unfulfilled, the motives behind unilateral benefit. Number 4. Disregard for your emotions or needs. This behavioral pattern, where one's emotional landscape is consistently ignored or devalued, is akin to tending to a garden where only one flower is allowed to bloom. While others are neglected in such interactions, the needs and desires of the user are prioritized. While yours are marginalized or dismissed, their actions and words become the shears that trim your emotional well-being, making you feel underestimated and invisible in the relationship. This disregard can manifest in various ways. It may be evident in how routinely they overlook your emotional needs by not providing support or understanding in moments of vulnerability or need. It could also be noticed in their indifference to your opinions and choices, where your voice is silenced by their dominant narrative. They may ignore your achievements or, worse, downplay your struggles, minimizing the issues that deeply affect you. This behavior is not simply insensitive, it is calculated, neglect a tool used to maintain a position of superiority in the relationship by invalidating your feelings, empowering you to seek connections where reciprocity, respect, and mutual care are foundational pillars. Number 5. Emotional manipulation. It often starts insidiously, with the manipulator presenting themselves as attentive and caring. However, this facade quickly becomes a mechanism to induce feelings of anxiety, inadequacy, or guilt in their target. They become adept at pressing emotional buttons, praising you to uplift you when it suits them, and then criticizing or undercutting you sharply to create doubt and dependency in you. Consider the analogy of a gardener and a delicate plant. A careful gardener nurtures by providing just the right amount of water and sunlight. In contrast, the emotional manipulator, like a negligent gardener, alternates between overwatering and letting the plant wither from drought. They use emotional extremes to destabilize, creating an environment where the target becomes emotionally dependent, constantly seeking the manipulator's approval to regain that initial sense of warmth. This manipulation often targets the very core of emotional well-being. They may downplay your achievements or magnify your failures to keep you in a perpetual state of doubt. They might twist situations to make you feel guilty for normal actions, shifting blame to ensure that you always apologize. In relationships where there is emotional manipulation, where feelings are consistently manipulated, and requires introspection to understand how these interactions